Listen carefully. Listen very carefully. Watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, because they become your habits. And watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character, they become your destiny.
Destiny.
Can you see in front? Somebody cannot hear better.
Very poor pronunciation. Destiny, you say destiny.
No, you said destiny.
Destiny.
Everybody can hear me. I say something for effect, but everyone can hear. Your only obligation is life, in life, is to fulfill your destiny. The next speaker will help us change negative thoughts to positive thoughts. This is the first step towards fulfilling your destiny. She is a personal development coach. She practices self-awareness. Please welcome our last but not least final speaker, Valenciayangspeakers.
Good evening, everyone. Not just a personal coach, but I'm also a gardener.
Wow.
Actually, a trained horticulturist.
Wow.
So I plant plants, and I like one of your slides that you actually said about the mind. You know, it's a fertile ground. So this is why, like, I'm here to actually go through. I'm a gardener itself. So your mind, you treat your mind as a garden. So you take out unwanted weeds, right, in the garden. How many of you actually do gardening here? Only one? How many of you actually appreciate garden? So you appreciate garden. Would you actually go to a garden with lots of weeds, or would you like to see beautiful plants, beautiful flowers? How many of you have gone to gardens by the bay? How many of you have gone to the conservatory?
The jewel.
Joel.
Okay, I'm a bit backward.
Oh, already I went.
Wow. You went to
What about the conservatory? No?
No.
You're not? You haven't gone to
Gardens.
Conservatory.
the gardens by the bay. How many of you have gone to the conservatory? Have you seen to the big trees? Okay, so I was one of them who actually helped out with all the temperate plants. Alright, so anyways, so I helped to do a lot of maintenance and all that. So with that analogy, you know, I start doing these mindset, using nature as a therapy for us. And that's how we plant good thoughts into our mind in order to help certain change in life. So how many of you here actually would like to see change in your life? Change, yeah. Change your wife or husband. I can read.
She can read your mind. Mr. Gray never answered my question.
I don't know whether it's a yes or no.
But how many of you actually wanted to make the change, actually fulfill the change? You fulfill? Okay. What? Sorry?
Your question.
So how many of you actually want the change, but actually made through and fulfill the change?
In the process.
In the process, but how many of you actually did? Okay. So you saw this change in you. So like, how many of you have New Year resolution? Nobody? New Year resolution?
Scandal.
Why? Because do you fulfill it or do you not fulfill it? Partial. So do you fulfill it? So would say
Continue
majority
again next
for
year.
Okay. I would like you to repeat after this. Insanity.
Insanity.
Thinking over and over again, expecting different results.
So we tend to do things over and over again, and then we want, what's the change? I want that change, but I don't see myself going and fulfilling that. That's because we're always in this, you know, we're trying to do the same thing. Like, how many of you actually drive? Do you get irritated on the road?
No.
You don't? Oh, that's good.
I do.
You do?
We have to find something to do.
Find something to do. That's great. That's a very great awareness.
Yeah.
So not a lot of us actually are aware of our behavior, our thoughts, right? So sometimes we go into a self-sabotaging thoughts, right? So we think about like, oh, we can do, and we tell ourselves we can. Then the next time, there are thoughts where we start to ask ourselves, are you sure we can? And then we start justifying that we can't. And then we believe that we actually can't because of all those self-sabotaging thoughts. Okay, and why? Oh, this is a little bit about me, which I've already gone through a little bit, but this is more detailed. So I deal with my personal part, which I deal with a lot of stress, anxiety, fear. I help people to identify certain things, and then help them to to make a shift. I won't say change. Change is a very big word. So once you see a shift in your life, you'll start seeing, living a very effective life rather than being efficient. Okay, so it doesn't mean that you're efficient, it means that you're effective. Okay? And I always believe in daily ritual, which is really exercising. It's not just exercising physically, but also your mind, body, and soul is very important. Once you're not aligned, a lot of things will not go right for the day. So when you start the day, I set an intention for the day. I will visualize what exactly I want for the day. And then we'll start seeing things manifesting in your life through the day. So, the past and then the present. So where you were, your past glorious days, we always talk about how good we were, or how bad we were. But where we are today, do we actually emphasize on the now? Do we actually think about or appreciate or be grateful for where we are today? Okay, so how we are or how we were before actually shapes us. How we react, our behavior, and a lot of things. Okay? And so who we are now, instead of being in the now, we also think, most of the time we're always thinking about the past and we're always thinking about the future. Oh, I want to have this house, I want to attain $100,000 a month as a salary, or I want to become this person, I want to be a great speaker, I want to be, I don't know, like, you want to attain those dreams, alright? But sometimes you dwell too much into it, and then you don't look at where you are now in order to kind of step back, backtrack where you are in order to process and enjoy the process along the way into where you want to be. So, here, there is a way to be where we are right now. We can plant certain positive thoughts, thoughts that are beneficial to us rather than self-sabotaging, right? And then we need to be aware of our thoughts, catch hold of ourselves, and then make that shift. Try to change words. Words are very important. It feeds your soul. So what are the things that you want to feed your mind? What are the things that you want to feed your soul? You want to feed good stuff or do you want to feed bad stuff? I mean, we choose good, great food, right? So you want to also, feed great food. Oh, great. So, I'd like you to do this one last time is repeat after me. Leave who leave who I was, love who I am, look forward to who I will become. So if you want more information, this is my number. You can give me a call, or we can also chat furthermore, like what are the things that you would like to improve on, and then we can speak, we can actually elaborate more.
Wow.
Thank you for your time.
Oh, should I leave it on?
Yes.
Alright, this one. Thank you very much, Val, for that captivating speech. So, can I have the timekeeper's report, please?
7 minutes, 42 seconds.
Wow. Alright, now for 3 evaluators. Any volunteers? Last speech. That one is done one already. Anybody?
Vincent.
No?
No.
Alright, can I arrow?
Got arrow.
I can.
so much for your inspiring speech. I would say it's really very captivating and you have a very lovely voice.
Yes.
When I say that, it's because you notice that when you have that kind of allure whereby when you speak, people want to listen to you more, you have that kind of charm. And I would say it exudes out as though because you have been through the process yourself. Therefore, people can feel it, can connect with it, and there's a lot of authentic feeling in that. And we can sense it. Do you all agree?
Agree.
Yes.
Overall, in terms of your presentation, there was a very good flow. Just that probably at the beginning, I noticed that you spent a little bit more time in terms of your introduction, your background, when one of the slides had it. So probably in that sense, in terms of time effectiveness, you could have combined those two and you can speak more with that PowerPoint slide in that sense. In terms of probably areas of improvement, I would say the biggest one would be your this particular slide. You are encouraging people to contact you, right? But for what particular purpose? Is it more for the gardening side or is it because of the mindset side? Yeah, because Mr. Gay will probably contact you, hey, how long are this plant in this condition? How should I read up? Yes. So probably in that sense, I'm sure you are okay with helping on both ends, but probably in this particular objective, since you are leaving behind your contact number and your contact detail, what is the particular, I would say, benefit that you want people to benefit from this particular contact or the appointment itself? Yeah. Okay, probably with that, back to you.
That was an excellent evaluation. Anyone?
Samuel, come on.
Another arrow. Come on, Samuel.
Samuel can do it. Come on.
Almost there. Thank you, sir.
Samuel can do it.
Thank you, Valencia. Yes, I do have to agree with Vincent. You have a very good intonation, the way you speak, the way you present. And I realize that a lot of presenters tonight, when you tell a story with your personal experience, it brings conviction. We as listeners, we can identify at least one way or another. I only have something to say about the last part where you are going on the past, the present, and then to the future, right? So you have that slide where you are telling us to, there's a diagram that, the pathway, and then there's some black and white icons, what we should put in and what we should, you might want to put a little bit more focus on that, trim your intro a little bit, because that is leading to your conclusion where you want to hone in on what this whole story is all about. Thanks.
Last one is Shona, volunteer. Wow.
Hi, good evening everyone. And Valencia, first of all, when you spoke about yourself as you counsel, you're a counselor?
More a mentor.
A coach, yes, you're a coach. And also your experience with gardening. When you started talking out, setting out that way, it caught everyone's attention. And you were very present, as in you were the way you could remember Fernando's, I mean, just a little joke, but still. And then a very simple thing put very well. I really enjoyed listening to it, and it's something that everyone, especially me, I can learn from and benefit. So I really enjoyed the presentation. Simple but very effective, and loved the way you presented it. Thank you.